special post-Christmas up at noon.
Take that.
Of course, we're on holiday here at IGN. The whole shebang shut down. No one's there. You know, Brian Altano, who knows what he's doing? Eating pasta probably, right?
Sleeping.
Yeah. But we didn't want to leave you hanging without an episode of Up at Noon, so I brought in my good friend, Christopher Daniels. As I live and breathe! Christopher Daniels, how you doing?
I'm thrilled to be a part of it all, just like always.
Yeah?
Thanks for having me.
No, man, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Now, for folks that don't know, you are a big-time professional wrestler.
I am a huge-time professional wrestler. I wrestle for Impact Wrestling. You can see us every Thursday on Spike TV. Chance not necessary. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's cool, though.
Spike
They're
TV,
actually into it. Usually
9
they're
p.m.
asleep. Thursdays.
Thursday nights.
Spike TV, 9.
Yes. I am one half of Bad Influence. Frankie Kazarian, my co-partner.
Yeah.
My male boo. He's off doing a shoot for GQ right now, so I'm with you guys.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. If you talk about the short end of the stick.
Nonsense. Look how well dressed you are.
One of us has got to go to GQ, the other's got to go to IGN. I don't know.
I'm fine with that.
So when are you going to get a real job?
Oh, God. Right when I grow up, whenever that is.
Yeah?
So, yeah, the 32nd of November, probably.
Okay.
2000 and something.
How many years you been doing this wrestling business?
20 plus. I started in '93.
That's a long time.
It is very long. Thank you. Yes. He hasn't quit yet. He hasn't died yet. So.
How did it all start for you? It's an interesting career to get into.
It is. It is not digging a ditch, as I've been told many times by people. I grew up watching it in North Carolina, where I grew up watching guys like Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Seriously, are you going to do that with every wrestler I mentioned?
He's marking out. Let him mark out. He's right there.
That's fair. So, yeah, I grew up watching it. So, and I think that's where you get a love of professional wrestling is as a child. If you try to get into it as an adult, you're never gonna fully embrace it. It's just sort of like surface. So I was a fan growing up. Once I graduated college and tried my hand at acting, which is what my degree was in, I made a joke to the lady I ended up marrying that if this acting thing doesn't work out, I could always be a pro wrestler. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
She found a school 30 minutes from where I live. She made an appointment for me, and she said, "Give it a shot." So I went in. She said I was hypnotized coming out of the office, meeting the guy for the first time. I took a loan out with my mom, who paid for the school. Paid for the school. And after 3 months, I was wrestling my first match. Wow. And that was 20 years ago. So.
And you never got any better.
God almighty, no. It's just been one long plateau with dips down towards hell.
Yeah. So I have to imagine, you're a trained thespian here. That's got to come in handy, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always sort of tried to be the center of attention and the class clown. So, I mean, it made me very comfortable to be in front of people, whether the size of the crowd was 1,500, 15,000. It didn't bother me. So. It also helped me sort of remember how to tell stories and that the idea of telling stories with your body, that physical ballet that professional wrestling is, I always kept in mind what story I was trying to put across to the fans, and so that helped a lot.
Now, they call you King of the Indies.
They did. I don't know if they can call me King of the Indies anymore.
I think they still do.
Damn them.
How many matches did you win in India to get this title?
I've never been to India. It was Indiana.
Oh!
So I won a lot of matches in Indiana.
No, you've traveled the world wrestling. That's the whole thing. The Indies, the indie circuit. You're everywhere. You're doing everything.
I was. For a long time, I made my living wrestling in independent promotions, mostly on the Northeast, because that's where I want to say 80% of the independent wrestling nation, especially back in the 90s and early 2000s, that's where it was really based.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to get a name to the point where promoters on the East Coast, it was profitable for them to fly me from California to go do their show.
Wow.
And so I was very fortunate to get that. But I mean, like now, most of my wrestling takes place with TNA, so I don't really frequent the independent promotions as much. So I don't think King of the Indies is a fair term for me anymore.
You're retired king.
I
Queen
am.
of the Indies.
Maybe just a duke, the Archduke of
what
the
happened?
Independents.
Kings can't retire, right? They got to
I hope
die,
not.
right?
Yeah, and I'm not dead yet, so I'm
there you
not
go.
quite sure how this goes down.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's someone that wants to be the king that's hunting for me.
Sure.
So please don't tell them where the studio is.
No,
Because
don't worry. They're stalking a GQ shoot.
Yeah, they are. Poor Frankie.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He
he
should
is.
have thought to. Do you miss the travel? I mean, you now you're pretty, you're locked pretty much to Florida, right? As far as like you live in California, but you go to Florida for TNA.
Well, I do, but we travel all over. I mean, we do our live events all over the United States and across the globe. So I don't mind the travel. It's part of the game now, and especially living on the West Coast, so much of my travel is red-eye flights, so I sleep through it. It's just part of the game, and I've got a routine down now, so I don't mind it.
Okay. Is it hard on the family?
Not too bad. Like, it was really bad or harder when I was going to Japan and doing tours that were 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month and a half long. But ever since I had kids, I haven't really done a lot of those lengthy tours.
How many kids?
2 kids.
Okay.
10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old son.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done in a match?
I fell off. I did Ultimate X once where I was sitting on top of the cables, and the cables are 15 feet above the ring.
Yeah.
And I fell backwards, thinking I was going to land on my back, and instead landing right about there.
Yeah.
And everybody thought I died. I did not die, shockingly enough.
Did it hurt real bad, or did you just like
no,
play dead?
What happened was it looked 1,000 times worse than it was because I was holding on to another wrestler at this moment. And as I went, he went ahead of me. And so he took the brunt of it, and he was facing forward. So he took the brunt of it on his hands and knees, basically. And but because I was holding on to him for dear life, which I basically saved by doing that, I most of the brunt was taken by him. I landed on my shoulder a little bit. But like if you watch video, and I think if you go to YouTube and look up Christopher Daniels almost dies in Ultimate X, yeah, you can see me, like I came backstage and my best friends, "Don't you ever do that again!" And I was like, God, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Did your best friend spill coffee water all over the place too?
No. God, I wish I had thought about
Daniels.
that. I'm sorry.
Going heel right in front of everybody here. We're having such a good interview.
I'm so unprofessional. I'm a highly ranked amateur.
So now is it
best.
hard to do crazy shit like that in the ring and then come home and try to be a parent and like, I saw you do it, Dad? And kids are jumping off staircases, doing cartwheels, hitting each other.
It's not... my kids sort of know the gag. They know what I'm in for. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of the people that I've wrestled in the past have been at my house. And my biggest feud was with AJ Styles, and for a long time, again,
AJ Styles is good. I like
AJ Styles is good. He's one of the best in the world, and he, you know, they know, my kids know him as Uncle AJ, and so they knew when I was fighting someone who had come to the house, they knew that it wasn't a real,
that big of a deal.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I do have to warn them to be careful that you don't get to do the things that Dad does on television because Dad is trained. Dad knows what he's doing. He's doing it in a wrestling ring. He's not doing it from the second floor of our house to the bottom floor of our house. So don't do that. And yeah, so I do sort of keep them in line in that respect.
For people who don't know, have you been injured?
Yes, I've been very fortunate. In 20 years, I've only had a couple of injuries that have caused me to miss matches. But the worst I ever had was I was wrestling on WCW Nitro, and thank you. And
anything you say, Greg Atlas is going to clap at.
That's fair.
I love it.
That's fair. I jumped to the top rope, meaning to backflip. And as I jumped, and one of my feet landed on the rope and the other one slipped off. So I started to fall backwards, and I was thinking, well, I can't fall and land here. So I looked back, and I landed here, and instantly lost all the feeling in my left arm. And it stayed that way for about 2 months.
No way.
Yeah, and before I had stingers before, and stingers, if you don't know what a stinger is, basically if you impact your spinal cord and basically you hit the spinal cord, you get sort of a tingly feeling for like maybe a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. This lasted for 2 months. And so literally I'm running, in the rest of the match, I'm running and this arm's flailing like this, and I would lift it up and it would fall to about there. And I was terrified.
Yeah, I think understandably
And
so.
I wrestled the rest of it. It happened like 30 to 45 seconds into the match, and I wrestled another 9 minutes. Jeez. And I literally, it was almost a tryout too for WCW. So I came backstage, and I'm fighting back the tears because I thought I broke my neck. I didn't know if this was ever going to come back. And like I had older wrestlers that were watching that. Literally, I had one come up to me later, and he goes, "You're either the bravest motherfucker or the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met." And I have to accept that. I was like, ugh. I'm probably a little bit of both. So nice to meet you. That sort of stuff.
So then you have an injury like that. What motivates you to keep going? Why keep coming back?
Honestly, it's if you don't wrestle, you don't get paid. That was one of them. But I mean, I felt like this is not what I was born to do, but I feel like it's what I do best. And I knew that once you start healing, you know that you're going to get through it. Like, it's funny being injured. It's almost like being in a tunnel that you don't see the end of. Like, you're in the tunnel and you're hurt and you don't know when you're going to be out. But you know at some point you will.
Yeah.
So, like, I've had injuries where you're like, oh, God, this is never going to get better. And then all of a sudden it's okay, and you're like, oh,
I can
that
move
wasn't
my arm
bad.
again.
Yeah,
Let's
I can
do it
move
again.
Yeah, let's do it again. But and it was one of the lessons that I learned, or I actually knew. I just disregarded it when I got hurt that day. Don't do something that you can't do 100 times out of 100.
Yeah.
And so I tell younger wrestlers this all the time. If you can't do the same move after 30 minutes of wrestling where you're tired and exerted and sweaty, if you have to be at 100% to do it, odds are you're not going to do it all the time, and you could get hurt. So you just got to be careful. So I've been very, very cognizant of being safe and being in this for the long term, because this is how I make my money. This is how I earn my living, and I've been fortunate enough to raise a family with the money I've made falling down for a living. So I have to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And so
kind of like me in this show.
yeah.
Pushing the boulder up the hill every time.
All our choices are so bad.
So
sometimes.
now we've talked before. You know that I'm a former BYWF champion, 2-time BYWF champion.
I think I saw you defend that belt against Marmalade Armstrong.
It's 100% correct.
That was a great match.
The mean streets of DuPage County back in Illinois.
Yeah.
However, you gave me a tryout recently. We were down at Epic Mealtime. We have some footage of it. Let's show it.
Let's show it.
I'm Greg Miller, and this is Chris. He's gonna chop me. Here we go. Yeah! Woo!
That's how it went.
You took that very well, by the way.
I had a few there. So
You had a few. You had a couple.
Yeah, just a few. Thanks, Harley. So I took it well. Do I have a future in this if I wanted it?
Being chopped? Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. You can continue to be chopped every day for the rest of your life if you want.
Wow.
I don't know if anybody's going to pay you for that.
That's an offer. That's an
yeah,
offer
no,
indeed. All right.
Of all the things that you could do, that's one of them.
Can I chop you now? Can I give you a chop?
I believe that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Eye for an eye?
That's fair. I did. Let me preface this by saying that I did promise that you would get your revenge on me.
Yeah.
So let's do it, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
This instant?
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right, everybody. Thanks for
All right,
watching.
everybody.
Remember that Up at Noon, of course, posts every Monday here on IGN.com and the YouTube if you got it. There we go. Look at this.
There we go.
There we Doctor. Do I need to do that too? Is that part of the game?
You can if you want. I don't know what I'm going to stick this to now.
When in Rome, as they say. You don't have chest hair? That's where I stick mine right there.
So I'm going to just...
You going to put on your beard?
Sure or not?
Okay.
This should be okay, right?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
This isn't awkward at all, is it? Maybe don't do that.
Oh, we got gaff tape coming.
Gaff tape?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Here we go.
He's going to gaff it to you.
Oh, wait, we're not going all the way down.
No.
We're not going all the way down.
Not doing that.
All right, well, wait a minute. Wait, Nana. Hold on. We have to gaff this somewhere where, because he's going to chop me.
I'm going to chop him right there.
So
put it over there.
Yeah, or up here.
You're muscular. He is a muscular young guy.
I do work out. No thanks. Yeah. Those guys fight like 4 times a year, and they get hurt in training. Ugh. That's not for me, man. I see Brock Lesnar. I'm not a Brock Lesnar. I appreciate you mistaking me for him. Can you hear me? Is that good?
You do
okay.
like that. So real quick, we'll do the outro before we chop you, all right?
Okay.
So we can catch you wrestling TNA.
TNA
Thursdays.
Impact Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Spike TV.
Spike TV.
Okay.
What else do you want to say?
What's your Twitter handle?
FAC Daniels, at FAC Daniels.
Go ahead and follow him.
Follow me, please.
Then, of course, like I said, every Monday up at noon posts. Come watch it. It's great. It's here on IGN.com. We love you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, audience.
Thank you.
If you want to be in that audience, go.ign.com/up at noon for details. There you go. That's it, right? All right, here we go. Now I'm
Are we
excited.
going to chop this?
Yeah, I've never been professionally trained. Does that matter?
Not to you.
I mean, I'm just hitting you like that, right? Like
Yeah.
I chopped in the Backyard Federation.
That sounds about right.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, somebody, you know what to do.
What's he going to do?
What do you think he's going to do when somebody chops somebody?
That's a good point. Okay, now when he actually hits me, though, there's going to be some noise, so please. Okay, whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. So, yeah, when he seriously hits me, though, there's going to be noise.
I don't like doing it. I don't like it. First off, it's not making a dent in you. Secondly,
Well, God, I hope not.
this is your career. Huh?
This is what I have.
No, I don't want to do this. No one else wants to do this. I'll do it. No one else is chopping him.
Well, look, you have to understand that if you chop me, I'm going to get mine back, and you're going to wish I didn't. Trust me.
I will still do it.
It's your show, Doctor.
No, we're not going to have you chopping the audience.
We're done, yeah. We're not chopping the audience.
Up at noon,
It's an
every
insurance.
Monday.
It's an insurance fund. Luchador pose. Okay, hug pose.
I don't know what luchadors do.
There we go.
They
Just
hug, don't they?
wacky pose. There we go. Bear pose. Eric Young made this famous in Japan. Bear pose. One more, please. Japanese girl pose. Thank you.
Chris only got to wear one of the 10 shirts he brought. So we're going to ask your Twitter questions here. He's going to answer them. He thinks he can get through 9 shirts, 9 questions in 90 seconds. And I say, no fucking way. But we're going to try it.
We're going to try or fail miserably.
Here's what
one or the other.
Explain the shirt right now.
Okay, this is the Men in Black version. It's available at ProWrestlingTees.com.
And we're starting the clock now.
Go.
What is your favorite match of your career?
AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Unbreakable 2005.
How much do you actually like
Wait.
curry?
This is Tango and Cash, available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Go.
How much do you actually like curry?
It tastes like shit. Next one is Bad Influence the movie, available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Go.
What one comic book character could easily fit into Bad Influence?
Deadpool. Cobra Commander, available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Go.
What is the first game you ever rage quit?
Yar's Revenge. Bad Influence, available at ShopTNA.com. Go.
What is your favorite console and game of all time?
Yar's Revenge was really good. Ego, Extraordinary Gentlemen's Organization, available at ShopTNA.com. Go.
Is there any what zombie apocalypse weapon would be?
Knife. I'm a John Byrne guy, available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Go.
Would you ever go to the WWE?
Maybe. I'm too old for them, I think. Bad Influence shirt, available at ShopTNA.com. Go.
Favorite Fast and the Furious movie?
The one I haven't seen yet. Breaking Bad Influence, available at ShopTNA or ProWrestlingTees.com. Go.
Best finishing move of all time?
Mine.
Hey! All what time?
70 seconds.
Oh, all right, good job.
Some of those answers were bogus. Some of those answers were bogus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Up at Noon posts every Monday on IGN. Please come watch it. You can see this strap. Jeez Louise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not
That
what
was
we're doing now?
good. No, I like that. We're going to get
that.
back to that
I'm
one. Actually, you can just give your own outro. I'm going to watch. No, tell them on the camera. Where can people find you?
I'm at FAC Daniels on Twitter. I don't have a Facebook. You can see me on Impact Wrestling every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Spike TV. I probably won't be doing this, though.
I'd
you
watch
never
it
can
if you
tell.
did. Thanks,
never can tell.
everybody.